Good morning, everybody. How's everybody today? It is Thursday. This week is flying, huh? Carlos, we ready to go?
Yes, they just gave me permission to share. Here it goes.
All right.
It's the moment you've all been waiting for.
Yes.
With the thousands pending and the millions watching. Steve and Carlos Show. Your host, Steve Scott.
And Carlos.
And Carlos Martinez.
Cool. Awesome. So we have an action-packed show for you today. We have something new and exciting to talk about. So we're going to be bringing you over the next probably couple weeks a new segment of the Steve and Carlos Show where we're going to be spotlighting local businesses, local vendors that are going to be relevant to your business, to your real estate business. We're doing that for a number of reasons. One, it's important, and you should have a list of vendors, right? That's your team, if you will, right? And we're going to be bringing new ones I think you're going to find very interesting. And the real big news is, check this out, guys. In July, it's looking like KW, the company, is going to launch their concierge program, meaning we're going to be able to offer our clients an opportunity through Keller Mortgage to take a bridge loan to do improvements on their house before it hits the market. That is huge. Gary Keller has been saying this for years, and he stood by his word, and he's making this happen. So we're thinking it's happening in July. So this will build into that. So start a list right now of all these exciting vendors we're going to bring your way. And before we get started on that, Paul, Karen, somebody, do we have a mortgage minute? Are they not here? Hello? Ah, I thought they did. Okay. Well, we'll move on. Nancy, do you have something?
Good morning. I wasn't prepared to say anything, but again, just to kind of hit off yesterday, still people from New York, rates are almost a point lower than they were a year ago. So it really is a good time. Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
Thanks, Nancy. All right. So without further ado, we're going to launch into this new vendor program. And our first guest, Carlos, will introduce and we'll get going.
Hello, and welcome, Greg Montesano. Montesano, did I pronounce that correctly?
Yeah, you got that correct. Thank you so much, Carlos. Thank you, Steve.
Hey, Greg.
Thanks for having us, or thanks for allowing us to have you here. Tell us a little bit about your business.
Much appreciated. I don't want to go too deep into this, but if time allows for it, I put together a little bit of a slideshow to maybe just help with some visual aids. Do I have the ability to do a quick screen?
You can. Go ahead.
Okay. Before I swap over, I just want to take a quick minute to introduce myself. My name is Greg Montesano. I'm the franchise owner of a company called Rebath here in Fairfield County. We are a bathroom remodeler. We are part of a national franchise network that has over 100 franchisees throughout the nation, and all that we do is bathroom remodeling. Rebath as a whole has remodeled over 1 million bathrooms dating back to 1979. So there's a really deep level of experience, sharing of best practices, and really some high quality products that I think are going to work wonders for your customers. Just going to take a minute here and share my screen. Skip over some of the boring stuff, but the one thing that I did want to point out, I was talking with Steve over the last couple of days. I'm also a licensed real estate broker, and that's really where I began my profession. Started out doing commercial leasing in New York City for a number of years, and have kind of always been involved, but I've always had a firm belief that real estate is a noble profession. And I feel like the profession is needed now more than ever. I mean, there's so many websites that are out there where, it kind of gives the consumer the illusion that, real estate is a really easy transaction and all you're doing is essentially making an offer and signing paperwork. I've always thought that a real estate broker can bring so much more value to not only that experience, but the entire transaction and even the post-sale service. As Steve said before, being a resource to your customers after they've closed on a property, after they sold a property. you're that go-to trusted advisor. And when I looked at Keller Williams and I looked at my business, I said, I really want to align myself with a high quality real estate company that we could work together to create meaningful connections here in the community, enhance the quality of people's lives, work together to increase property values, and create better communities. I'm not looking to do this on a wide spectrum. I'm really looking to align myself with just one real estate company. And being that I've had some experience with Keller Williams in the past, this was the shop I wanted to go to. I'm a resident of Springdale. Hair, obviously, I'm 2 months into a Corona haircut here, so that photo predates me. But resident of Springdale here with my family, thanks to Jen Henry. She did a fantastic job for us years ago. I've spent my entire career in contracting and real estate, and I'm absolutely passionate about the subject matter. This is just a little bit of a blurb on Rebath, Fairfield County, and just Rebath as a whole. The one thing I want to stress, we're not a general contractor. We're not the type of firm that's going to do a bathroom this week, do a kitchen next week, put on an addition or a deck the week after. All we do is bathrooms. We eat, sleep, breathe bathrooms all day long. And our installers that do this work, they have deep levels of experience. They're manufacturer certified, and they're always going through continuous education to provide our homeowners with a quick, enjoyable, hassle-free experience. We're based here in Fairfield County. That is our market, but I will tell you, we've seen a lot, some phones ringing up in Litchfield County and New Haven, but Fairfield County is absolutely our focus. This was just a kind of a little slide that I put together. We're big on the consumer reports. This is probably nothing that's new to you guys because I'm sure you follow these trends all day long. But when you look at the cost versus the value of a bathroom remodel, forgetting about an addition for a minute, if you look at a remodel, standard remodel, as of a year ago, the ballpark figure was about $20,000 for just a basic bathroom remodel. You want to look at something upscale where you're starting to bring in natural stone and, some really high-end finishes. You could be, 65 grand north of that all day long. The one thing I want to stress though, is that if these bathroom remodels are done right, it's actually an investment that can return anywhere from 70 to 100% of the cost. And the one thing that I always try and stress, not only to homeowners, but our design consultants when they go out, unless somebody's begging for it, there's no need to over-design a bathroom. At some point in time, they'll never recoup that equity. Unless somebody's coming in and saying, listen, this is my forever home, that might be a different story. But if people are looking at real estate as an investment vehicle, we kind of want to stick to this and see if there's ways that we can return some equity for the consumer. Our design process, we work quick. I could tell you that from the time the phone rings and somebody in our office picks it up, obviously now in this post-corona environment, we have the ability to do in-home appointments. We have the ability to do virtual appointments. We show up on site. We have software that allows us to scan a room and do some 3D modeling and measuring. And we work quickly after that. I mean, I could tell you, we're not about high pressure sales tactics, but we want to be efficient and respectful of our time as well as the homeowners. We will design and price out that bathroom right then and there. I spent my Corona break building out a piece of software that actually gives us the ability to do that. So we like to work quick. We like to work with people that take action. And you'll see down the bottom, most of our installations are done in 2 to 5 days. So if you're already thinking about, hey, you know what, I got a dog of a property that has some bathrooms that need some updating and I got to get this thing listed quick, we can move quick for you. If you happen to have, a customer that just bought a house, they're ready to move in, but the bathrooms they want nothing to do with, we can move quick on that. Natural stone is one of our products that we offer. There's nothing else like this on the market. This is a proprietary product of Rebath. I could absolutely go into this deeper on another time, but I just want to show you some of the products that we have. Our DuraBath material, this is another proprietary product that we have. Both of those materials, they're waterproof, they're easy to clean, they have lifetime warranties.
So that, yeah, so we I mean, we're pretty excited. Do you have a website where we can, or our agents can just you know, log in and look up a little bit more of your information
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
process?
You want me to fast track it to the end?
Sure. What does the end look like?
Yeah, I mean, we have a website. There's a slide at the end. These are some of the brands that we partner with throughout our installations, high quality brands. Here was a job that we did probably a month ago. This was a condo unit in Norwalk, Connecticut. Classic contractor special, outdated, faucets, fixtures, cabinets, tile. 5 days later, this is how the bathroom looked.
Wow.
5 days. Wow. Holy cow.
Tremendous upgrade in this woman's quality of life as well as her property value. This was another case study. That picture all the way over on the left, this was a family that was living in Stratford, Connecticut. They just happened to notice some mold and mildew in the grout lines of their tile. They didn't think there was a big deal there. They just said, hey, we want you to kind of replace what's there. When we took everything apart, that was what was underneath. Subfloor, rotted to the core. Not looking to scare anybody with it, but the people's kitchen was right underneath it. I mean, you let these things go for too long and you could have real problems. So we specialize in this stuff all day long. We're not a liner company. When we get in there, we literally take everything down to the studs, the subfloor, and we build up from there.
That's cool. So you'll do a whole gut job, Greg. Will you also do smaller bathroom jobs?
Absolutely, Steve. We'll
Okay.
do, and I got to tell you, it's kind of funny. The bread and butter jobs are the tub and shower updates.
Mm.
I will not turn my nose up at those jobs all day long. They're great jobs. We're in and out 2 to 3 days. It's just enough to give that bathroom a pop. At the same time, if somebody wants to do a whole bathroom rental and rip it down on the studs, we could do that too.
Got it.
And everything in between.
Cool.
From a broker perspective, what's in it for me? Again, we work quick. I want to add value to both your buyers, your sellers. I want to increase home values. I want to increase the number of transactions you guys are doing, increase the commissions you're earning. It sounded like Steve Keller as a firm is coming out with a very similar program, which is awesome. But one of the things I want to call out, we have financing options available as well. One in particular is a 12-month same as cash option. It really coincides with the same mindset that Steve had where, let's say you got a customer that's got a dog of a property. They want to put it on the market, but they don't want to dip into their pocket.
Sure.
They get this bathroom done, not come out of pocket, increase property value, increase equity, sell it, and essentially let the buyer pay the note on it. Our warranties can actually be transferred within 1 year to a new home buyer. So, that's a nice little value added piece.
That is.
And, finally, from a broker's perspective, listen, at the end of the day, everybody rolls up their sleeves, works hard. At the end of the day, that's all we have is our time. I want to be here to support you guys as an entity, as brokers, to your customers. I want to provide continuous education. I don't want to jump too far ahead. I want to have a little sidebar with Steve and Carlos when time allows for it, but I'm absolutely open to some type of referral fees / compensation structure to show my level of appreciation for working together.
That's really cool, Greg. And we'll definitely talk more about that. And I can tell you the chat box has already got some people that they're going to be sending your way. I see it already.
Awesome.
So I'm certain, go ahead. I mean, I'm certain that there are a lot of blue and pink bathrooms still out there from the 60s and 70s, guys, whether it's something you're going to list and it can look better to hit the market, or, somebody's buying a house and they want to do it as soon as they move in. But, Greg could be your guy for that. Go ahead, Greg. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's it. I mean, I was just getting into, slide at the end here. As I said, I'm grateful for this opportunity to get in front of everyone and certainly look to do it in person in the near future. If you want to reach out, that's how you can get us. That's my main phone number there. That's my personal email. And you could get us Instagram, Facebook at Rebath, Fairfield County.
Appreciate that, Greg. Thank you so much for having us or for being here with us. And if anybody has a vendor that they'd like to nominate, go ahead and shoot me an email, and I'd love to we'd love to hear a little bit more about from them, right?
Totally. Yeah. Give us some ideas, guys. We've got a bunch coming your way, but we could use more. And I have to give credit where credit is due. I want to say thank you to Jennifer Henry for having this idea weeks ago when we were coming up on week 5, week 6, whatever it was of this lockdown. And we were thinking, okay, what are we going to do on our Tuesday and Thursday show? And Jen's like, let's feature some local tradesmen or local vendors. And we're like, great, we'll get to it. And now it just seems such a perfect tie-in with KW Concierge rolling out. But again, thank you, Jen, for having the idea.
My pleasure. And Greg, I have to say, is a wonderful guy. So absolutely, send him all the potential clients that you have, and he'll take good care of you.
Awesome. Thanks, Greg. Appreciate it. Let's see, Adonis. So we have Marty ready to roll.
I believe we do have Marty ready to roll. Yes, we're going to be creating a mass email campaign in Command.
Good evening, Keller Williams, and welcome back to the KW Command 66-Day Challenge 3.0, Day 43. So today we are still working through our campaigns section, and I'm going to teach you today how to send out an email or set up an email campaign. So a few things we've got to do first in order to set this up. Number one, you do need to have a MailChimp account. If you have not signed up for a MailChimp account, it is free. You're going to go to MailChimp.com/sign up and sign up for a free account. So you can go through MailChimp and do that. Once you have signed up for that account, you do want to make sure that you come into your settings menu in Command, and that under connected applications, MailChimp has been connected in order to send out email campaigns. So when you come down to connected apps, you have MailChimp connected, okay? And you can see that I have that connected. If you're not connected, you'll want to go ahead and click on the Connect Account button, looking similar to this one, and then you will have the ability to do the rest of the challenge as we move forward. So first thing I want to do, so today I want to send out a mass email to, let's say, buyers in my contacts. So the first thing I want to do for my purposes is go ahead and filter your contacts. Select that tag that you're going to filter your group by, just so you know how many contacts you have. And I'll tell you why that's important here in a few. So right now I have 15 people in my database set up as buyers for my in my actual contacts. All right. Next thing I need to do is log into my MailChimp account, and I want to click on audience, and then I want to make sure that there are no audiences listed. If you've been with us for a while, you know that MailChimp was the email provider that we were originally using for our monthly neighborhood nurtures. So you may have an entire series. I'll tell you, when I was testing this out, I had about 112 audiences that were set up. They were one contact only, and they had a lot of gibberish, a lot of numbers and letters put together as the audience name. So you're going to want to go through, this was the audience I just created previously, just to kind of test this all out as well. So bottom line is you can only have one audience in MailChimp when you're in the free account. So for right now, if you're going to send out a bulk email to your buyers and then you want to do another one to maybe your sellers, you are going to have to come into MailChimp and delete the audience that you previously created of buyers in order to send out that seller email. Also, just so you know, on the free plan, you cannot have more than 2,000 contacts per audience. So no more than one audience, no more than 2,000 contacts in that audience. And you cannot currently send more than 10,000 emails per month with your free MailChimp account. Now, I do know that KWRI and the Labs team is working very hard to secure a new mass email provider. I don't know what the limits are going to be with that provider. We'll have to see. And yet this is currently the way to send out mass emails. So I'm going to go ahead and come in here. I'm going to click on this audience that I created previously. I'll click on delete. I do need to scroll down to the very bottom, and I actually have to type out the word delete and then click on the button for delete. And that's going to remove that audience. This is my goal, is to get to a screen that says you have not created any audiences yet. Okay. Next, I'm going to come back into Command, and I want to click on the campaign submenu here in the bottom left. And then I want to come over and create a new campaign. That new campaign is going to be an email-based campaign. So I'll click on email. And you'll see this looks very similar as far as the layout goes to some of the other, obviously the Facebook ad and some of the other things we were working on. First thing is the campaign goal. So let's say I was advertising a new listing to attract buyers. I could click on that. Marketing campaign name, I might just say Lodge Meadows send out to buyers, right? What email account do I want to send this from? I'm going to send it from my marty.miller@kw account. Next, it's going to say, who are you sending this campaign to? And so I'm going to click on add list, and it's going to allow me to create an audience from command that will then link to MailChimp. So the first thing I would do is basically just call this my buyers. I might put a date on here if I wanted to. Default subject, right, is check out Cinco Ranch's newest listing, right? Something along those lines. I want to send it from my email. What's the default from name? So I'm just going to put Marty Miller. And next I have the ability to either add independent contacts. So I could go through here. I could actually search for contacts. So let's say I wanted to send this to AA Seller, right? So you can go through and, well, I guess it's not going to bring that up, but you could independently add the contacts. Here's most likely what you're going to end up doing is add contact tags. So I'm going to select tags, and then I want to scroll through until I find the buyer tag. Okay, and remind people how they signed up to your list. You have previously interacted with or corresponded with Marty Miller with Keller Williams Platinum Realty, right? So something along those lines, just so the people that are getting this email know why they were on this list. Obviously the goal is for them not to unsubscribe, especially if you're going to continue to email to the same list. If they unsubscribe in MailChimp, that email will be blocked from you sending out to them any further emails. So just a heads up there. So once I click on save list, you'll see what's going to happen. I'm going to get kind of a spinning wheel here. And what's happening is command is now communicating with MailChimp to create that audience. And I'll show you what that looks like. It says I haven't created an audience yet. However, if I click on refresh, you'll see that I now have an audience created. Here was the name of that audience, and I had 14 contacts. Now remember earlier, right, I did a sort and it had 15 contacts, and yet only 14 are showing up right now. Let's do a quick refresh and see if we pick up that 15th person. Nope, only 14 for now. So I'm going to go ahead and click on create campaign. We're going to start working through here, and we'll see if that changes in just a bit. So what is the subject line? Again, I'm going to put that subject line, the same one that I did for the audience. So check out Cinco Ranch's newest, I don't know, home for sale, right? And then finally is the content. So this is where I can actually create my design from designs and then apply it to this email campaign. So I'm going to click on apply design, and this is going to bring up all of my previous templates that I have created. So if I already had a template that I wanted to use, I could do that, or I could click on create new template. And when I do that, it opens up a new window and takes me into designs, into the design editor, if you will. So I'll click on the plus sign. I want to create an email template. Now we didn't do this when we ran through design, so this is kind of new as well. At the top, I can title what I want this template to be called. So it might just be Lodge Meadows buyer send out. And I could associate a listing with it if I wanted to. Could come in and find Lodge Meadows and search. Right now it's not really going to do much. It doesn't really pull in a lot of information. That is going to hopefully change in the future. And then on the right hand side I have the ability to add layout sections and also content sections. So let's just say I wanted to add text to start, and I'll just put, let me delete out the insert your text here. Check out Cinco Ranch's newest listing, right? And then I could drop in an image. So my template was auto saved. Now I'm going to drop in, oops, that's not what we wanted to do. So let's click on that. We should be able to, let's see, delete that. Is it gonna let me delete this one out? It is not, so let's go back. And again, sometimes it's just a learning process with these designs. So I'm just gonna do that all over again, email, create design, and let's add in the text and delete out insert text here, check out Cinco Ranches newest listing, and done on that. It's gonna auto save. Okay, so then I can drag over. I need to make sure I'm using my left click button. There we go. Drag that over. It's going to allow me to then choose a file. So I could go through and let's just say I wanted the front door going in. Where's that? There it is. Okay, so I could put that in. And it's going to upload it. Once I click on it, it's going to bring it into my email here down below. And it's a little oversized, obviously. So I'm going to click on this top right-hand corner, and I'm just going to keep dragging down to the bottom right. And I want to get down to the point where I can see this. Okay, and then let's resize that so it looks correct. There we go, and there we go. Whoops, don't want to overdo that. There we are. So looking into the door of the front house, I could add in one more text section here at the bottom. Obviously, you know, you can keep going. You could add in buttons and dividers and quotes, and you can even do sections that are side by side, three side by side, right? One that's next to each other, but 3/7. So you kind of have a smaller section, a bigger section, whatever you wanted to do. Right, and I could just, I'm just going to do it real short, right? I'm not going to do all of the information that I would put in here, but 4, 2.5, 3 car, 2587. I'm just making this information up, right? Built in 1990 and then listed at 435,000, whatever. You can come through and actually play with the editor and some of these other options that are up here. We're not going to do that right now, just so for time's sake of this video. I am going to come up here and change the name. I'm just going to highlight this and delete it out. And I can say Lodge Meadows Buyer Send Out. And then finally click on Update Template. So once the template is updated, I can click on the back arrow. Would I like to save? Yes, I would. And then remember, this opened a separate window. So I'm going to come back to the window where my campaign was. And you can now, if I go, let me refresh real quick, reload the site, I should be able to get the campaign. Oops, don't tell me, it took me back to the very beginning. Oh, it sure did. All right, well, learning process for me as well. So we would go back through and just do Lodge Meadows. So what you don't want to do is hit refresh at that point. You want to just go back and then you can find it. So I've already created that list. So here's my buyers list, 1620. Email subject, check out Cinco Ranches hottest new listing. And now, because I've created a design, I can click on apply design, and there it is. So Lodge Meadows Send Out. I'll choose that. It's going to show me what that email looks like. I can say apply design. Here on the right hand side, it shows me kind of what that email looks like. Now I could have resized this photo, I could have centered this stuff, there's a lot of things I could have done in the editor. But again, just to kind of get through the video, this is the basic email that would be sent out. And once I am finished, I can preview. It's going to show me what the email looks like. Obviously, content-wise, I probably could have done a little better, but this is what it would look like on a full screen, on a tablet, and then on a phone as well. So I can X that out. If I'm ready to go, I would click on send, and this email would then be sent to everybody that's in that audience. Or I could save as draft if I wanted to come back and continue building it out. So you can see here is the draft email that I've sent, that I haven't sent, I've actually saved it. If I wanted to go in and actually send it out, then I could start getting metrics on open rate, click-through rate, if there's any bounce backs, anything along those lines as well. So that's pretty much it. As you can see, my battery on my laptop's about to die. I need to go plug that in so I can get this video uploaded. But that's today's 66-day challenge. Remember, if you're going to create a second campaign, you need to come back into MailChimp first delete this audience, and then create that list a second time like we did the first time around. So hopefully that's helpful, and know that obviously it's going to get a little bit more simplistic and a little bit more robust when we have the ability to create more than one audience with our new email provider. I don't have a timeline for you there. Hopefully soon. That's pretty much all I can say because that's all I know. So as always, guys, I hope you're having a fantastic night, and I will look forward to speaking with you tomorrow. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Marty. Awesome as usual. So,
Hey, Adonis. Hey,
yes,
Adonis.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'd like to jump in, just say that, I mean, Marty Miller, and we worship Marty Miller with what he teaches us. For those of you that hung in here, I thought that was a little bit clunky and a little bit, I'm not sure if I'm more confused than I was before. So we're going to have a class on this next week. So look for that on the calendar, okay?
Very good. Very good. Tomorrow, we're going to learn about Task Manager and the command platform just to help you stay on track and purposeful in your business. So we'll see you then, and I hope you have a good day today. Bye-bye.